Weather's real nice outside today, and I sure would like to go for a drive in the Rabbit, but I can't. So, last night, I wanted to go for a drive. Mainly, I just didn't feel like cooking, so I went to get something to eat. And the pedal started feeling a little spongy when I got in the car. And it got progressively worse really quickly. By the time I got to the end of my street, it didn't want to let me go into second gear. So what I had to do to get it home was I had to pull up to a stop sign, shut the car off, put it in first gear and start it up so I could get going. Then from there I got it into second gear by letting the RPMs drop after taking it out of gear. It slid right into second. So got it here, parked it, and then decided today after work I was going to try to bleed the clutch. I didn't really think that was going to do anything. Obviously it's the easiest thing to do to see if that's the issue given a clutch problem. But I was kind of thinking more so along the lines of pressure plate going bad. I mean, the clutch has been slipping for a while now, and I just kind of thought the pressure plate was giving out. I didn't see any leaks. The reservoir is still full. Today when I got to the car to start bleeding it, everything still looked good. There was no leaks, no fluid on the ground. Reservoir still at tip top. But when I touched the clutch pedal, it dropped straight to the floor. So there's no pressure at all. So I went to try to bleed it anyway, pumped it a whole bunch of times, got nothing, zero pressure. And so I started thinking, let me just kind of look around for leaks one more time. Since I pumped it a whole bunch of times, maybe something came out. But I was thinking that still mechanically the clutch was bad completely. Come to find out, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there actually was a leak that I didn't catch before under the car. If I can get the camera under, there's some fresh fluid right there, brake fluid. So what that means is that the slave cylinder's bad, which really sucks because just like a year ago the master cylinder failed, and when that happened I thought it was the slave. So I pulled my car up to the shop, pulled the transmission out, replaced the slave cylinder with a genuine OEM metal slave, thinking that was a problem, buttoned it all up, and that was not the fix. Turns out it was the master. So it has a new OEM metal slave cylinder in there from a year ago basically. Master cylinder's new, but it's just auto parts store brand. I just wanted to get one in there that day. And everything was good after that. But now the slave cylinder's obviously prematurely failed, and that really sucks because obviously it's a pain to get to it, pull the transmission and all that. I planned on pulling the transmission anyway to replace the clutch, but I didn't have a clutch yet, so the car's going to be sitting for longer than expected. I started a new job with a company called Intrepid Powerboats here in Largo. So since I started a new job, I'm not spending any money on the car. So yeah, anyway, it's gonna sit for a little bit. I want to get a good clutch, and I'm gonna have to get a new slave, which I plan on doing anyway. Even though this one was only a year old, I plan on getting a new slave cylinder regardless, because I just didn't want to, kind of be lazy, do anything half-assed. The most invasive things I never skip out on, because since they're so hard to get to, there's no point in skipping it. I always replace it. I wanted to say real quick, I keep pausing the video because something comes up where there's some noise or someone walks by or whatever. I've never in my life recorded a video where I had to stop this many times or re-record it. This is the 5th time I tried recording this very video. Anything from some dude pulling up into my neighborhood, parking right over here, and skateboarding down my brick road repeatedly for no fucking reason, to a bird whistling. Just not that one over there. It was this one that had some serious pipes on it, and also this random person coming up and walking by me in the red car, ambulance, loud ass diesel tow truck, you name it, and also a near miss car accident, all within the last 20 minutes of me trying to record. Just wanted to mention that. Normally I don't really give a shit, but It's kind of monumental now. I'm just wondering what's going to happen next. So, yeah, it's a real bummer. I was actually planning on driving the car this weekend. I had some plans, but then today, which is a Saturday, I work Saturdays, but it's a half day. I was planning on getting off of work and working on the car because I got some packages in the mail. And that was, of course, until last night when I found the issue. 2 days ago, I got this package from FCP Euro in the mail. So the passenger side front wheel bearing is bad, which is funny because that too is only like a year and a half old, and that wheel bearing went bad already. So I got to replace that one. I got it from FCP Euro, so I got the replacement here, and I need to swap it out soon and send it back so I can get the warranty reimbursement. But it's just kind of annoying. I can replace the wheel bearing and not drive the car after that. I got a whole bunch of new hardware for the subframe because I went to Euro Tuning and got the CTS Turbo subframe centering kit. It's basically like the cheaper version of the Tide Roll Sport dead set kit. I was going to replace that as well. Also, I was going to swap in a new subframe which has 034 bushings, which this car already has 034 solid subframe bushings in it, but the top puck has threads in it that are stripped out. So every so often after some hard driving I can feel the dog bone getting loose. So I want to kind of put an end to that and fix it the right way. So I have the entire subframe to swap out. So anyway, the car's going to be sitting, which really sucks. The weather's so nice out right now. It's been getting cold out and it's perfect for boost. So it's a big shame, but it has to happen, I guess, now of all times. And, I can't complain too much because I do have a second car. I live only 10 minutes from work, so it's not the end of the world. But driving that car does have its own issues. The daily, which is funny because I actually drive the Rabbit a lot more often than the Jetta. But can you blame me? It's bone stock automatic 1.8T Mark IV versus a boosted 2.5. It's really hard. I don't have the willpower to drive the Jetta every day. But anyway, the Jetta, its issues is currently, apparently the sunroof drains are clogged. Clogged so bad, in fact, where 3 days ago it rained. I got in my car, I drove to work, and I noticed that the driver's side carpet was soaked, like completely soaked. I could see water when my feet touched the carpet. And so today I went to try to remedy that. I cut the nipples off. So what happened is you have a drain from the sunroof, goes down here into the door jamb area, leads to a rubber nipple. Well, the hole in the nipple is like fucking like retarded small. So I don't know how that's supposed to work for more than the vehicle's first few years of life. But they get clogged, so people normally cut the tips off. So that's what I did today, cut the tips off and no water came out. Didn't help at all. I put some water down here from a jug I had. This one ended up coming down in the fender area, not the nipple. So that tells me that the hose is not clogged, but it's not meeting up with the nipple. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but supposedly if it's not hooked up to the nipple, you can still get some water on your carpet on the passenger side. The driver's side, I'm not really sure if the tube is connected to the nipple or not. All I know is when I poured the water down, nothing came out whatsoever. It all just came to the passenger side instead. So that tells me that the tube has a clog in it. Not sure about the rears. There you go, more noise. Some really annoying Jeep person. Right. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, so I'm going to be driving the Mark IV Jetta until I get everything for this. If you watch some of my other recent videos, I have another motor for the car just to kind of get rid of an oil leak in a really complex area. So I need to get a few things for the engine still. It's pretty much good to go except for the thermostat housing. Water pump and thermostat housing is broken. It got damaged when it was pulled, and the coolant housing with the coolant temp sensor is also broken. And just the freaking thing got nicked just a little bit to the point where the sensor won't stay in place, so that sucks. Got to replace both of those flanges, and I think that's it, besides just getting all new hardware, some new fluids and stuff like that. So I have to replace the motor, replace the clutch, and now the slave. I'm going to be replacing the subframe regardless. Pretty much all that's coming off anyway, but now I just can't enjoy the car until I get to do that. So that's the little update that I have. Real bummer. Also, I forgot to mention, besides FCP Euro and Euro tuning packages, I got another package. I can't give too much details on it right now, but it's from Diesel Geek. So I definitely had some plans to work on the car soon, but now it's going to be in a different fashion. So hopefully I can get this thing fixed as soon as possible, and I'll be making more videos when that happens. So I'll see you guys soon.